Good day. I'm Dr. Vishnu Durga from Action Invest Caribbean Inc. and the Who's Who in Guyana business. And we are continuing with our series of interviews to spotlight innovative companies, both in their product and service that they're offering, but also with the way in which they are currently continuing to serve their clients. And we want to make sure that people as far and wide really get to understand what these companies are doing and why you should make contact with them. My guest this morning is Miss Selma Rahman from New India Assurance. Good morning, Selma. How are you?
Good morning, Dr. Durga, and how are you? I'm quite well, actually. All things considered, you're doing well here.
All
Yourself?
right. Very good. Right. I'm doing well. I'm happy to be able to reach out to you and to your company to see what's going on, because some people might be of the opinion that they can't make any contact with you, and I know that you guys are putting out content, but it's always best to hear from the leaders themselves. So Selma, tell me a little bit about, for the few people who don't know about New India Assurance, tell me a little bit about New India Assurance. When did it start, and what are some of the main services that you guys provide?
All right, thank you. I must say thank you to yourself and the initiative you've taken as part of the Who's Who magazine to reach out to your customers and to see what's going on in their company, how they're dealing, how they're coping with everything, and to try to give them a platform where they can reach their customers beyond the magazine and to allow us to, um, say what we need to say to let the people feel reassured that we're here and
Yeah.
we're still going to be able to service them in their time of need. And whatever other help that we can possibly give them, we will try our best. So that being said, uh, New India Assurance Company Trinidad and Tobago Limited. It's a long name, but we are a branch office of the Trinidad organization, or general insurance company, and we offer coverage for fire insurance, motor insurance, and other business services. For example, employers liability, computer or risk, varying policies. There's too many to mention at this time. We started an office in 2015 in Guyana. Although it's not the first time we were in Guyana, we were in Guyana for quite a few years prior to that. Because of situations in the economy at the time in the 80s and having restrictions on exporting US currency and so forth, we were forced to exit the market at that time. And now we're back and we're committed to the country and we're here to stay. So we have made that commitment even through this pandemic and this curfew that we're in. Our doors are still open to the public. We are still taking calls, we're emails, and even walking customers. For those walking customers, we would require you to wear a mask. If you do not have one, we will provide one for you. We have a station in front where we provide a mask. We ask you to sanitize. There's a sanitation station, and there is a simple questionnaire that we ask customers to fill out, and more or less just asking if they have been exposed to anyone who would have been infected, and whether or not they're displaying any symptoms of the COVID or flu. That being said, it doesn't mean that we will not service you. It just means that we will then assess how we can best service you to ensure that we protect you from or customer from any exposure to someone who may inadvertently be infected and not know and come to our office. So when our customers leave, we also sanitize every single time all surfaces where customer may touch, and any other surface that we feel might be vulnerable. We try our best. Our staff, we've reduced our staff. We have minimal staff right now in the office. We all take good social distancing in here, and we all wear our masks at all times. However, I'm not wearing my mask. I took it off just so that you can hear me clearly while I'm in this interview. But when I'm finished, I'm going to put it back on. So we do our best to keep our staff safe too, so we can service our customers.
That's very, very good to hear. So that the office is still operational. I know that we have the contact or the hotline number scrolling there. We have the website. What is the physical address of the company in case policyholders might want to visit you in the future?
Okay, we're at 58B Brickdam, Starbrook, Georgetown, and that is right next door to Star Computers or opposite Navi Construction. So we're very easy to find. There's a signboard up front, very big one. It also has our services listed on it too, our telephone numbers in case you, for some reason, miss them here. They're on the signboard in front of the building.
All right. And I wanted to find out as well, what does New India Assurance really do well? What are you guys known for? Why should I switch all my policies to New India Assurance?
Well, I can tell you we're not as big as the other companies currently, but that works to a great advantage for us. We can service your policies in a shorter period of time, and when it comes to claims, we do have a good reputation assessing claims very quickly and fairly, and I can guarantee you that that will not change. We will continue to provide that service because really what we're selling is a promise that we will honor our obligation to you at the time of your loss when you're in need. So at that time, that's the most important time that you would need to be able to rely on a company, and we're that company. You can rely on us for claims settlements.
That's very good and very reassuring as well to hear. Um, Being in your particular business, which is about making sure that people can have some peace of mind, what what could you recommend to policyholders and maybe anybody else who's listening at the moment as well that they can use this time to do to have some peace of mind for themselves as well? What is some advice that you can provide?
Well, peace of mind is very hard to come by this time, but I think it's just we have to change the way we think about things, and we can't be consumed by feelings of fear or panic for some people. I think we need to let go of those feelings and just go about our life as normal as we can within the limits that we have. And especially when you're home for persons who have fire insurance, or even if you don't have, but you're a homeowner, you can do simple things like use the time to clean up, organize yourself, see where they have any risk for damage, fire where fire may start, see where there is any electricals that are exposed that need repairing, and maybe if you have the technical know-how, you can do it yourself. If not, you can definitely um, do what you can consult with a professional to get it done so to prevent any loss, because this is not the time where you want to be faced with any fires or any additional expense. For people who own vehicles or have control of vehicles, you should always turn over the engine, maybe run it in and out of the yard to make sure that your tires are, fully being in use. Make sure that you clean the vehicle properly. Because that too helps to make sure that you don't, the paint and isn't damaged over time. If you don't clean a vehicle properly, it can tell on the paintwork. And just in general, it would be good for people to observe all of the guidelines that the WHO, the COVID-19 task force, Ministry of Public Health have been imploring people to follow. Social distancing for one, wearing a mask always when in public. That's to protect yourself and the other person, and also to help reduce the spread. If you do have it, you may not know. We don't always know. Some people may be asymptomatic and not know that they have it, and genuinely feel that they're safe to go out and be around other people. Also to sanitize and not be out unless it's necessary. So
Thank you
those
very
are
much. I think that advice of making sure that, especially since you're going to be in your home so much, start taking a look at that, as you mentioned, the electrical circuits to see if things are exposed. Maybe it might be a good business opportunity for an electrician who can actually make sure that they can safeguard themselves and the people to really fix those things at the moment. And I haven't thought about the vehicles as well need to be started, especially if you're not using it.
What I'd like to say before we close is that I've noticed that Guyanese businesses, starting with Action Invest, Action Coach, Who's Who, they've been very innovative in this time, and that's what we need. When things go wrong or don't go the way we want it to, we need to not just sit down and feel despair, but we need to start to go forward and start changing the way we think, as I mentioned earlier. You've done that by bringing a magazine to the internet and having a live broadcast and featuring your customers. That's one way. And then I've seen innovation with delivery services. I've seen innovation with supermarkets and places, even the rum shops now delivering. So I can say to you that we have been very forward thinking for most part, and certain industries are flourishing. And New India Assurance is here to service those companies' new needs. So, they can very well contact us and let us see how best we can tailor our policy to them. And I want people to know that we are here, we are open, and that they can call us in. And if you're having difficulties with your finances, because let's be real, it's happening. Some people are more affected than others, and some really aren't as yet. But if you are having difficulties and you're scared about renewing your policies because you're not sure, you can give us a call and we can see how best we can work around it and what we can do for you. If so I just wanted to put that message out there.
Yeah, it's always, when there are difficult times, it's better not to, retract and not communicate. Communicate to those people around you, and especially if you have a policy, talk to the issuer of the policy to find out what's available. Don't let the policy lapse without having that communication. So I'm very happy that you're making that clear to portions as well, that they can make contact. But Salma, let me thank you for taking the time out this morning to talk to everyone, and fantastic advice as well. It's advice that I haven't heard before on the show. So very fantastic advice. And stay safe. Have a fantastic day, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Same to you, and thank you for the opportunity. And do stay safe as well, you, your family, your staff, everyone.
Take care.
All right, all the best.
Once.